On today's episode of Mostly Running Garage, we start working on our rims and try and clean them up best we can and see what we can do. Can we save them? Today we're going to work on the rims. We're going to try and clean them up a bit. This one is what it's going to be. I have cleaned this one up already over here, and I'm happy with it. I mean, it's not perfect. It's not going to be. It's got pitting. It's got some flaking beginning on it. But like we said in the past, that car's not perfect. If these ended up being super perfect rims, well, now I got to paint the car. I don't want to paint the car. It's a 10-foot looker, and these rims match that perfectly. So I'm going to show you what I did to get it to this point, to take it from this to this. Let's get started. The products and equipment, tools, all the stuff that I ended up using for this are right here on the table. First off, Quad Zero steel wool. We go around, scuff it up a little bit first, get as much of the oxidation and rust off with that as we can. But we're not just going straight steel wool. We're gonna put this Mother's mag and aluminum polish, put a few dabs on the steel wool when we're going around it to help it out there. Once we get that taken care of, we do the same thing here with our cone. And it's just a foam cone you get I got it at Walmart. It's the Mother's polishing cone. We're also gonna hose and rinse them down, wash them first, then get into this. But before we get into this, we gotta dry our wheel. We can't use the polish with the wheel wet. So I'm gonna hose them down first. We'll rinse them off with the microfiber. Then we'll get into the steel wool and we'll finish it up with the cone here. And that's as far as I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna wax anything. It's not worth it on these. It's just gonna accentuate all the flaws and stuff that these rims have. When I did the first wheel to figure out how I was gonna go about doing this, I fought myself a lot because I wanted them perfect. I wanted to get it as good as I could. And the farther and further I dug into it, the more I realized if I go harder and I keep going at it with the steel wool, I'm gonna make it worse. So we're trying to find that middle ground to get these as good as they're gonna get at this stage of their life. So let's go ahead, get over to the rims, let's hose them down, rinse them off, and get started. And as you see, the hose, I don't have it on high pressure or anything. Just getting all this junk and stuff off of it. You're just getting the base layer of dirt and grime off right now. Nothing fancy. Just getting them wet, getting the top layer of dirt that you just get driving around and, in our case, sitting in the garage. But just getting them wet and getting that top layer off, you already start to see a difference with it. It's a big difference, it's a big change, and just that alone, just washing the wheels, slight maintenance, helps a ton. Now we're not gonna focus and worry about the backside. I don't care about that. No one sees it. I barely see it, and I take these things off all the time working on the car. So we're just gonna leave it. I don't really care about that. We're just trying to make it a little bit better-ish. Now, we do have this broken one here. We're gonna do our best with this one, and this is just gonna be what it is. After diving into that first one and realizing all the flaking and other damage, permanent damage that we have without re-chroming these, it's not worth me putting the money into finding another one, whether it be Facebook Marketplace, a used old one, or getting a repop. It's just not worth it, because you're gonna get that one cleaned up real great, real nice. It's gonna look amazing, and it's gonna stick out like a sore thumb with the rest of these. If I ever do end up going and replacing this, I will end up doing a full set, and I'm just not ready to make that jump yet. There's too much work that needs to get done with the car. I want to get other projects, so we're not just Charger all the time, even though we love our Charger. I want to get a truck in the future here. I can't get a truck if I keep dropping money on rims and such and all that other, you got to prioritize here. And this just isn't a high priority to me right now. Right now, I want to get that thing out on the road and drive it, which we're really close to. So we're going to clean this one up as best we can, clean up the rest of them as best we can, and it's going to be a huge, huge difference on it. And that's going to be a big upgrade in itself, just getting these things cleaned up, getting them polished up, getting this top layer of oxidation, dirt, and grime off of them. So we're going to start with the problem child here. We're going to do this one first because it'll make me happier at the end doing one that actually has a cap on it. So I'm going to get this up on the table so I'm not bending down all the time, and I'm lazy. I want to sit down while I do it. And then we'll go ahead and we'll hit it with that steel wool first. We'll dry it first with the microfiber towel, I'm sorry. Then we'll hit the steel wool, then we'll dump it in the cone, and then see where we're at with it. I can already see on this one some pretty decent flaking on it, and they're just not in the best shape as is. So to make them show quality, I would have to rechrome them, and I'm not willing to throw that money at it right now. But let's get this up on the table and let's get started and get to work on getting these as good as good as gonna be, goodish. Okay, we got our microfiber towel. Do know when you're doing this, this might be destroyed forever. This is what it's gonna be probably. It might clean up, I'm not sure. I haven't washed the other one yet, but it was pretty nasty and grimy and dirty. And I mean, you're cleaning up a rim with a tire on it, so you're gonna get some of this rubber on it. And don't use a towel you wanna keep nice and shiny is what I'm trying to say here. It's going to get messed up. It's never going to be the same again. And you can see it just right there, just from that little bit I did, that it's gonna get nasty, it's gonna get grimy, it's gonna get dirty. This isn't gonna be a towel that you pull out to wax the car when you're done, you know. This is what its life is now. All right, we got that pretty dry. I'm happy with that. Now we can grab some steel wool with our polish and move on to our next section. Now remember, this is quad zero steel wool we're using. And I'm just taking off a little piece here, and I'm gonna put a little bit of that mag and aluminum polish from Mother's. I'm gonna put a dab on here and start scrubbing. And I'm gonna keep rotating. Every time I go grab more polish, I rotate my steel wool, so we're using a fresh portion of it, because it is gonna wear out on you. So I am gonna grab another piece after this one, this little section here. And this isn't gonna come out perfect, like I said earlier. It's just making it a little bit better-ish. You know, just instead of it looking like we just pulled this out of the weeds or someone's backyard, can we make it look like the paint job we have on the car, where it looks like a backyard paint job? You know, it looks pretty good from 10 feet away, and then you get close and realize it still needs more work. But can we get little, you know, roadside, ooh, shiny look to it? And you can already see the difference here. I'm gonna lift this up for you. Did this portion up here, and you can already see a world of difference between these two, just from that little bit. So we're gonna grab another piece of steel wool, hit that other side, and then we'll start going into the center area. I'm doing it in stages here. I'm not jumping all over the place on this wheel, just going about it section by section. So we're focusing in and getting that section that you're working on as good as you're gonna like, where you want it, you know? Just get it in that right area of how you want it to be. Then you move on to the next section. So you see I'm doing the top rim here. And I'm happy with how that is now. Now we're gonna flip over, grab more polish, put another dab on. Now we're gonna go to the next section, this middle rim portion. Get as much of it as we can. It's gonna get as good as it gets. Not gonna be perfect like this rust ring. It's just gonna be there. I could spend hours going at that and make it better for sure, but it's never gonna be perfect. I'm not a patient man. Never was, never will be. These will look much, much better just from this little bit of work we're working on here. And I'm happy with how it's turning out so far. So we'll grab another piece of steel wool, hit our spokes, hit this inner portion, and then we'll hit it with the cone, and this one will be done. It doesn't take, this really doesn't take long. It's just tedious work. It's just get out and gotta do it. And I'm not much for the tedious stuff. I don't like it. I don't like doing this kind of stuff. But in the end, you are going to love the change you're making to your vehicle. It's going to look 10 times, 10, 100,000, whatever number time better that you put the effort into it. So you just got to keep working it, and it's a tedious job. Just keep going at it with this steel wool, and you're seeing this middle section here where the lug nuts go is cleaning up pretty nice here. Pretty happy with how it's coming out so far. You're just getting, right now, this is all brake dust right here. Just from normal wear and use of the car before it sat. And it's cleaning up pretty nice, but once again, I will bring you in closer and show you why we're only going so far with these wheels. This one's worse than the first one I did, for sure. With its flaking and stuff, but it does look better already. Now, lift her back up for you. Let you see it. So you can see we're actually getting in here and we're getting this brake dust and stuff off. We're not getting all of it. Like I said, it's not a show car. It's good enough, but you're seeing all these specks and stuff. That's chrome flaking off. And that is the reason this is what we're doing. We're just gonna polish it up and do the best we can with it and not replace this one because it needs a re-chrome. And I'm not in a position that it's really worth jumping into a re-chrome on these at this point in time. These are original Cragars from back in the day, from the 70s, 80s, somewhere in there, whenever they came out. I don't know the exact date code, but these are old school Cragars. These aren't the new repops. So it is a little unfortunate that they got to this point by the time we got to them. But they were already in this condition when we got them from the previous owner. So we'll just do the best we can with what we got. And they're coming out pretty good. You know, it's not perfect, but we're making good progress on it. They are shining up fairly decent with what we have here. And I'm happy with how it's coming out at this point in this juncture. Now it's not going to be perfect after the steel wool. That's why you have phase 2 with that fancy cone that we bought from Walmart. Now you can get that online at Amazon too. You know, it's not Walmart specific cone. It's just a polishing cone. It's nothing fancy. That's what we're jumping to next. I'm gonna put dabs all over this wheel here. I'm gonna put some on here, and we're gonna go to town with it. So, and we're not putting it on super duper thick in one area. It's gonna get all spread around anywho's. But you know, get some product in there, you know. Just get around here. It's all gonna blend into the chrome by the time you're done. It's not scientific or nothing, so just put it on. And then throw some on your cone here. I just worked it around. I just working it around different portions of this cone. Like I said, it's gonna get all smeared around everywhere anyways, but spread it out a little bit. I don't know. Makes sense in my brain. And now and I do have this on slow, the slow speed here. And just work your way around. I'm gonna keep working my way around, but you can see a huge difference already. I'm super excited. It's coming out really nice in spots. Like I said, we're still gonna have flaking chrome on here. That is what it is with these, but it's coming out super nice. I'm gonna give it a wipe with that microfiber from earlier now. Get it cleaned up a little bit. And that's it. There's your change. And man, I don't know if the camera's picking up how much of a change that is, but it looks infinitely better. It's perfect, absolutely not. But man, we got some shine out of these old girls here. I'm gonna go ahead, work on the rest of these here, and then we can go back and get them mounted on the car and see the change actually on the car. And I think it's gonna be a pretty big, significant difference. I'm excited to see these on the car. One thing to note when you're using this Mother's mag and aluminum polish, if you have the white lettering like we have here, it is going to dull it and fade it out. The reason I didn't care about that is these tires will be getting replaced somewhat soon-ish because they are old and dry rotted. We're gonna run them for now until we know the car's ready to roll for a while and it's gonna be something I'm driving around consistently. Then we'll get new tires put on these and we'll use this rim again. I know it's the broken one we showed you on, but it's gonna be the same process on the other ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into that and I'll be back with you when I get those all finished up and we'll go ahead and throw them on the car. We got the tires mounted back on the car. Big change, big change. Definitely worth that extra effort to take them off, go out and polish them and do all that stuff that we did in this video. I'm gonna bring you around, show you the change on all four corners. Here we go. Here we are in the driver front, and just that angle right there shows the big improvement. Now we're coming up on the back here, and it's just a big, big difference to the look of this car. Bringing you around the front, you get a nice view of the big block on the way around. And now the big reveal on this side. And that is a massive change, much better. Fits this car, gives it that 70s street machine vibe that we are going for with this car. I am very happy with it. That's going to do it for this episode of Mostly Running Garage. We got those rims cleaned up nice and made a big change to the look of this car. Makes it look 10 times better. And it just goes to show you, little elbow grease, little hard work, little patience and time. Put that effort into your vehicle, your different little bits and pieces on the car. Makes a huge difference. Now we know these rims aren't perfect. We know these rims are actually in kind of shape. They're not terrible, but they are definitely not show car quality. But from a distance, you can't even tell. It's just like this paint job. 10-foot looker. Looks great from 10 feet away. You get closer, you start seeing little blemishes and stuff on it. But man, it made a huge difference to this car. It looks 1,000 times better. I'm very happy with the result. Eventually, maybe we'll get new rims. Maybe. But not for a long time. This is going to be what it's going to be. Is it going to get new tires? Absolutely. It needs new tires. But man, it made a huge difference. But go ahead, get out there, work on your stuff. Do small projects like this. It doesn't always have to be pulling your motor out and putting heads on it or something. You know, just go out, just wash the car, and it makes a big difference. Oh, I got to do that still again. But you get the point. Go out and do your thing and enjoy your vehicles, enjoy life. Go do something fun. Until next time, this is Mostly Running Garage. See you next time.